Right. We give thanks for this moment in time of us coming together on this beautiful Sunday, day of introspection. Sunday is a beautiful day for you to tune within, keeping in mind that the sun is connected to the solar plexus. Solar, solar. So that's soul, S-O-U-L, soul, S-O-L, solar, sun. All of that is the sun energy. If you imagine what sun energy is, and this is the day of the sun, that is the energy of life. Without the sun, that's one thing about it. If we didn't have the sun, we wouldn't have life, and you have an ever-present sun within you, right? So when we talk about solar plexus being blocked or sluggish, we're talking about your sun energy being blocked or sluggish, which we just started our chakra course, but I say the solar plexus and the heart are one of the two major chakras that you want to make sure are balanced and open. Because if not, then you're walking around with a lack of confidence. You're walking around with distrust in self, distrust in life. That solar plexus being blocked. You're walking around with a feeling of powerlessness. And that's not you walk around like that, you're liable to either become under somebody's thumb, become oppressed by people and things, and depressed and suppressed and all of those pressed, you become pressed in all the different ways. And then with the heart, if your heart is not open, then you oftentimes feel the need to control. You oftentimes feel you often take life personally. When your heart is not open, you really take life personally. And that's not a good place to be in. Really, it's not. Because it's not personal like that. Life is just life. But if you take life personally, the polarities in life can take you out because you're bound to everyone experiences polarity. That's life. That's the dynamic of life. Polarities create. That's what happens. The soil connects with the seed, it goes into darkness, it presses, it starts to expand. You have to have that expansion, that pressure in order to expand. And so if you're taking life personally, any pressures, you're going to take it on to yourself. You may start feeling like either you're a victim of the world, victim of your family, a victim of, you just become a victim. And that's not good. So I definitely say work on your solar plexus and heart chakra constantly. More so heart chakra. But with the solar plexus, the reason why I don't really tell people to work on the solar plexus just off top is because oftentimes you haven't died to self enough to realize that the confidence you want to cultivate is not confidence in you. It's confidence in the divine power, the divine strength, the divine confidence. That's what you want to cultivate in. So often when I say, work on your solar plexus, they're like, yeah, I need more confidence. I need to believe in myself. No, I really need you to know that you ain't really nobody. I don't want you to work on that self. That's not who I'm trying to big up. No. I really need you to really understand that this self that you're talking about ain't even you like that. It's the God in you showing up as you. The confidence has to be placed in the God in you, in the kingdom within. That's where the confidence has to be placed. That's where the sustainable power is. That's where the sustainable strength is. All right, we supposed to. I done jumped in. Give thanks. We give thanks for this Sunday. We give thanks for life. We give thanks for our divinity. We give thanks for moments where we can feed the soul and increase in wisdom, knowledge, and understanding about what we are as divine beings. We pray that we will continue to increase, continue to expand our hearts, expand our minds, so that we can truly live out our divine purpose and plan while we're here in this physical plane. We give thanks for the session today, and whatever is channeled from this session, may it be good to the soul, and may we not just be hearers of the word, but doers. Amen. Ashe. Amen. All right. I kind of got on a tangent because, I am one. I wrote a book, an ebook, or I put an ebook together. Let's just say it like that. I put an ebook together of resources that help us to live intentionally. A lot of people have that ebook. If you don't have that ebook, I think I produced that in like 2016, 17. Grab that. Different Kind of Living. That's what it's called. A Different Kind of Living. It's on my Etsy page. You can go on to my Etsy page, which you can get to from ouministries.com, the shop button. It'll take you to my Etsy page. But what I put in that book, I put these kind of like main things that help me to be able to live intentionally. And one of those is understanding the energy of each day. Understanding the energy of each day. And so those who have been rocking with the tribe for a while, rocking with OU Ministries for a minute, we acknowledge the energy of the day. We say happy Sunday, happy Moon Day. On Tuesday, happy Mars Day. On Wednesday, happy Mercury Day. On Thursday, happy Jupiter Day, happy Expand Day, the day to expand in consciousness, in money, in whatever, expansion day. On Friday, happy Love Day, Venus Day. On Saturday, happy Saturn Day. Then we're back to Sunday. But there is energy of the day. And not only energy of the day, and I didn't put it in the ebook, but it's also energy of the hour. But I didn't put it in the ebook, but I tell you all the time, if you want to keep up with the energy of each hour, download Hora Watch. Somebody type it in the chat room who have it on their phone. Hora Watch, all one word, on your phone. And you can find out the energy of the hour so you can live more intentionally, and in this is your grace. In this is your gratitude for life. I find it to be ungrateful for us to denounce things that we may not know much of. And if you don't know much of it, and let me just say this, I'm talking about specifically things like astrology, numerology, all these different sciences that because we grew up in the Western world, we are severely undereducated, and we are also heavily indoctrinated through religion and dogma religion. So we not only are we undereducated, but we also denounce, disrespect, and are afraid of things that are the reality of God. So we shy away from astrology, we shy away from numerology, we shy away from various sciences, divine sciences and mathematics and all these different type of things that when you know about those things, you can live. It's not for you. These things are not exposed or shouldn't be. I wouldn't want it to be, I'm gonna say it like that, exposed for the sake of you trying to manipulate life. We're not trying to manipulate life. So if you're tuned in here and you gain benefit from hearing about astrology, numerology, any of these different things, that if you do tune into them, you can experience some shifts and change in things. It's not for the sake of you trying to manipulate life. It's for the sake of for you to see, understand life, tune into life, let it show you something. Because once you start to understand how and why the number 7 shows up and what is it connected to and what is it, once you start to understand that, not just from a Google search of spiritual numbers, what is the number 7? Oh, it's this, and oh, pay attention to every 7 days of your life. Log your dreams every 7 days. Log your dreams every 7 days. Pay attention to your outdoor space every 7 days. See what happens. Just tune out of Google. We ain't somebody going to Google to tell us what it's all about. That's just people doing what I'm telling you to do and interpreting it and putting it on paper. You do it so that you can see that there is a divine science to this thing we call life. So a lot of times people get afraid of these things because, you don't know about it. You're kind of ignorant about it, and ignorant in the sense of the definition of the word. So I pray that no one is taking offense. If you are one who is ignorant about certain things, I still am. I don't know everything. I don't want to know everything. I find out what spirit leads in my life. It's just what has come into my world is astrology, numerology, gemstones, did all these different moon cycle, how numbers work and spirituality, all those different things that has come in my realm. But it's when we denounce it, as we have done, we stay in loops that have very simple solutions. It could all be so simple. I'm telling you, it really is ways that we can heal that we're ignoring because we're not paying attention to what is real. And we're attached to and believing in that which is not. And remember, metaphysicians, I spoke about what real means. Real ultimate means fixed. So when we hear people say this world is nothing real in this world, you may want to throw that out. Like, what you mean it ain't real? Come on now, y'all reaching. Y'all new age folks be reaching. So now you saying ain't nothing in my life real. I'm supposed to just denounce everything because it ain't real. The only thing that's real is what's inside in the kingdom of God. That is the only thing that is real if we know the real sense of the word real. It ultimately is fixed. Nothing in this world is fixed. Only in the unseen is it fixed. That's why in the word, it always try to get you to cleave to that which is eternal. Because if you cleave to that which is not, then anything you grasp is fleeting. So cleave to the love that you connect to that's eternal, the joy that's eternal, the abundance that's eternal. The abundance that is eternal don't look like money, cars, all this type of stuff. It manifests, the reflection of it manifests as that. But if you, in order to even experience the reflection of it consistently, you must be consistently attached to the eternal version of it. Then you're going to naturally, that's when your money problems begin to dissolve. That's when your love problems begin to dissolve because you're attached to the eternal version of it. Internal, eternal, both. Anyway, let me finish my statement about that ebook. That ebook has various things in it to help you to live intentionally. When you live intentionally, you are showing the gratitude for life and you earn grace. You earn grace. You earn angels. Okay? You're earning it. You're setting yourself up for it. So we already have a level of grace. But when we tune in, we tune into the abundance of it, right? When we're caught up in this world, we kind of create these walls of Jericho. Okay, we create those. People are not building these walls around us. We create the walls of Jericho. And we're the only one to make them fall down. We're the only one. Through gratitude. Gratitude looks like not just being thankful. Gratitude looks like acknowledgement, acceptance. I'm grateful for life. The way I show my gratitude in action is I honor life. I honor my body. I honor the morning time between the hours of 4 and I'm gonna say 7, but it's really like 3 to 6. But between the nighttime when everything is at rest, I honor those hours. I don't get up and start, nobody insert themselves in these sacred hours because I honor life, and these sacred hours are not sacred just because somebody said it on YouTube. They're sacred because they actually are sacred. And you can learn the science of it and all of that if you want to. But maybe it just resonates with you with me saying this. You don't even have to know all of the science of it. You don't have to know the intellectual meaning or explanation for it. How do I show gratitude? I show gratitude for life by tuning into who I am, maybe learning about myself on a deeper level, exploring my natal chart so I can tune into who I really am. And I can also stop disrespecting disrespecting other people and their life. Because now that I know I have a divine blueprint, also known as my natal chart, I can understand that maybe some of those things I don't like about this person, it's in their charts. It's in there, whether you like it or not. Well, it don't matter. You can't never conclude why they had to show up in this type of formation. And no matter how ugly it looked to you, there's a divine purpose and plan for that person. Even if they don't live it out in this physical plane, because life is eternal. It's just going to recycle itself and still come out for the good. And so I can't be grateful for life if I'm projecting what I like and what I think is right and what I think onto somebody else. You may be the one that be like, oh, I'm so grateful. But if you in your mind looking at somebody else in judgment, your gratitude scale is dwindling down. So guess what else is dwindling down? The grace for you. That's why if you're judgmental, you find that you are judged by other people. And so if you want to experience more grace, more opening, more breakthroughs, more, all of those different things, experience more deeper level gratitude for life. Another way to say it, deeper level honor for life. Deeper level of reverence for life. Not just, oh, I'm so grateful to be here. That's selfish. I'm so grateful to be here. I get to experience life again. Okay. Nothing wrong with it. Okay, that's great. But what is life? And why are you grateful? What does life encompass? And is it something you can be grateful for that's bigger than just you being able to experience this? Maybe I'm grateful for life today and how it's showing up today because there's so many little stars that's popping off in people. Maybe there's so much healing going on, so many bees being fed, so many butterflies being born. Bigger than you. You are just a little pulse in this grand pulse of life. So widen your gratitude and you can increase your grace. But I think we have to know what this gratitude I'm talking about. And that gratitude, you can't be grateful for something you don't know. Which is why I brought up the book, Living Intentionally. If you are finding yourself not living intentionally, you are not in the level of gratitude that I'm talking about. If you haven't tuned into something greater than just your life and what's going on in your life, and check your prayers. Check your contemplations. Is it always about you and what you got going on in your life? Well, Queen, of course, we're human. Remember, we threw that out. We ain't just human. We're spiritual beings having a spiritual experience. If you're caught up in just the things that's going on in this world in your life, I'm not judging you. It's a place where we find ourselves. And it's not like you come out of that place and never go back. Like, come on, let's be serious. Like we have phases, sometimes, but awareness is the key. I'm gonna always say that awareness is the key. We are not pushing for perfection. We are wanting to be in awareness. And within that awareness, we live intentionally, consciously as divine beings within that awareness. So maybe you have found yourself super deep into the life, super worried about the money, worried about your son, worried about your daughter, worried about your man, worried about your woman, worried about this, worried about that. Maybe you have found yourself. Are you aware? Are you noticing? And once you become aware, what do you do about it? Here in OU Ministries, we encourage you to renunciate. An exercise that I encourage you to do often is the TAB exercise. Let me run through the TAB exercise real quick. TAB, T, totally. A, accept. B, and believe. Totally accept and believe. That's TAB. That's what TAB stand for. How do you do TAB? You realize you go into yourself and you say, what am I concerned about? What am I afraid of? What am I sad about? What am I yearning for? What am I this? What am I that? Right? Or what am I feeling discouraged about? What are any negating type feelings I have within myself? And you write them down, you acknowledge them. That's the awareness. You become aware of them. And sometimes we're not aware of them. We have to really sit with ourselves and ask ourselves, what we become aware of is that we don't like where we at. You do become aware that you're tired. You do become aware that you're sad. You disappointed, you embarrassed, you whatever, right? But then you got to go in and what is it? Is it a fear? Most times it's a fear. Most times. Sometimes it's a violation. I feel violated. Sometimes I feel like I've lost something. So I'm just talking about sadness, anger, fear. But once you identify it, then you renunciate. So you take that statement of negation and you match it with a statement of truth. It dissolves it. The power is in the word of God. That's how we say it in the Christian faith. It's in the word, right? So say you're afraid. I'm just like, I am worried that I'm worried about money. Why do I bring up money a lot? Because people be worried about money. Okay. If it ain't money, it's relationship or career or something associated with it. So say it's that. I'm worried, I'm concerned about money. I have all of these things. I have debt and I have things I want to do. I have aspirations. I have debt and aspiration. Debt is concerns from things of the past. Aspirations is concerned with things of the future. Neither one are really real. But anyway, we won't go there. But I am currently worried about money. I have debt and I have aspirations. So then you take a statement of truth to dissolve it. I am a divine being. A part of my divinity is abundance. This abundance show up all around me. The same source of life that created all of this abundance around me created me. I come into this world with a written plan over my life. And with that written plan comes all of the abundance or the resources that is meant. These are statements of truth. It's kind of long. You could say short things like, I am a child of the Creator, also known as, and then say a name that means abundance, the Master Manifester. Say a name of God. Just call on the name of God. That's a statement of truth as well. I am a child of God, and God is, as its child, I am an inheritor of everything that is God. God is abundant. As the child of God, I get that. Okay, now all the mamas, what you got, your children got, right? All the babas, what you got, your children got. If it's no, like, unnatural something going on. Naturally, a father and a mother, whatever you have, your child has. Naturally, that's a natural thing. Not even by duty, responsibility. I'll speak for myself. It's just naturally, because I want to watch it with my son, even though he a big baby now. He a big baby. He the big baby outside the house. Now, I'm still thinking, what you got going on? What you doing? Let me, I want to let him be a man or whatever, but still, if I have health, I'm going to want him to have health. If I have wealth, I'm going to want him to have wealth. And anything I have that can help him to attain that wealth, I'm going to extend it to him, as long as it's not to the detriment of his holistic well-being, right? That's how you are with the child of the Creator. But let me go a little further. Consider the Creator your beloved, your lover, and it's jealous about you. Can you imagine an ardent and jealous lover? That all it wants to do is keep you. All it wants to do, that's it. I know some of us ain't never met one of them. And those who have, you know what I'm talking about. They get joy out of keeping you. And it's jealous. Don't you let no other man open your door while I'm with you. What? You better step aside, let me do it. What you mean you called your daddy and you ain't talked to me? Okay, somebody know about this. All right, okay. Jet Arden, huh? What you mean? They feel a little way when you talk, oh, somebody bought you lunch. Who bought you lunch? And I ain't talking about them knuckleheads who ain't never bought lunch, but you mad somebody bought me lunch. Boy, you better go sit down somewhere. Girl, you better go sit down. So I don't want the dudes to think I be on them. But I'm talking about the ones who really be showing up all the time. You put gas in your car, huh? You better not tell them nothing, because they're going to get on you immediately. Okay, that type of love relationship, build that with God. Because know that it is true. Because at any point in time, you let go of them darn chains that you created. The grace pop in. How many ever experienced that? You be just on it. And then you do what that song had. After you've done all you can. You just stand, and then here come the energy of life. Here come the energy of God, and it's just there you go. Here you go, baby. I was waiting on you. I had it ready for you. And even during that time, somebody said, just sit down. Even during that time, if you really reflect, it was some grace, baby. It was some grace. While you was out there freaking out, doing that, grace was still there. Okay? I don't care what it looked like. That fear was never real. I don't care what it looked like. Just sit down and reflect. Always grace. That is the reality of God. That's the reality of life. And it shows up not just for you, it shows up for all things that have life. It shows up for the bee. It shows up for the bird, the caterpillar. It shows up for the species in the ocean, on the land, in the sky. It shows up for you, your sister, your brother, your mother. It shows up for everybody because it is the reality of God. And the reality of God is the reality of life. That's the deeper level of gratitude I'm saying. Be grateful for that. Be grateful for the true reality of God, which is the reality of life. And this thing I'm calling God is a reality. It's a reality of how things work. That is God. The reality that we were all born from what the Quran called a clot. Think about that. Every time you get troubled, I want you to think about any formation of a seed. That has helped me in my life tremendously. Think about the apple seed and how it has bore fruit. Think about what the Quran called a clot, and it has produced you. Think about that. You worrying about a bill. Oh, no problem. You worrying about a bill. And you as a whole human being with all of the beautiful aspects about you, you're living and breathing and being able to experience this dynamic nature of life. Okay? If you really tune in and detach, try your best to detach. Detach from the illusions of this world, things that are not real. What does real mean? Fixed. Things that are not fixed. And then drop into gratitude, true levels of gratitude. I think I want to say this. When we practice gratitude, I want us to practice gratitude for life, not gratitude for yourself. Gratitude for the reality of God, gratitude for life. That means you're going to reflect upon the dynamic nature, the beautiful nature of life. Come out the self too. Come out the self. We tend to easily just look at my life. I'm looking at this. Not just that. Come out and just see, imagine, think about, reflect upon life, how life shows up. How does life show up? Let me see if we on the same page. How does life show up? Like, what are some reflections of life? I'll give an example. Over by our cooler here at the garden, there's this vine growing. And if you go close enough, if you're from the South, you know it's a watermelon vine. How y'all think that watermelon vine got there? Do you think we planted that watermelon vine by the cooler outside of the garden area? It's over there by the cooler, close to the garbage can, close to some benches that's over there. How did that vine start to grow there? When I saw it, I said, look, God is so good. And somebody could say, oh, that just shows how fertile the land is. No, go deeper. That shows how life is. I'm pretty positive somebody sat on the bench, which the vine is growing right behind, and was eating watermelon on one of our beautiful market days, and was just kind of spitting out the seeds. Just spitting the seeds out. Right. Erica says someone simply spit out a seed and something beautiful blossom. And guess what? It has the capacity to give you not just one seed back, not just one seed back. But can we even imagine how many seeds is in a watermelon, a big watermelon? It's not only going to produce more seeds, it's going to produce more fruit to eat, then give you the seeds that can produce hundreds more vines with numerous more melons. The limitless nature. It's the nature. That's why I said one thing that's helped me to really dig deep into this vortex of gratitude is a reflection on a seed. Getting to understand the life of a seed. And there are many formations. You got seeds that's smaller than the tip of your pinky nail. You have seeds that are large and big and pretty, like that come in some of the fruit that's in the islands. You got all these different types of seeds. And knowing the whole life of a seed can help you to really understand gratitude. And why am I projecting that? Because when you really drop into the real gratitude that I be talking about, that's where the grace come in at, because it's in that same frequency. As a matter of fact, I believe if you look up the word, they mean the same thing. They're synonyms to each other, gratitude and grace. So you're lining up. So if you're experiencing life and it's coming at you in a certain kind of way, maybe reflect upon your gratitude. Reflect, is it surface level? And that's why you're experiencing a surface level grace, if you will, which may not be the best way to say it because grace is grace. But check in on your gratitude. And if you need help because life is a little tough, and that's sometimes that's how it be, then reflect upon a seed. Because there are seeds and they have life. So if you reflect upon that seed, all right, the seed has the shell. Within that seed, I put something on my Instagram recently. I said, friendly reminder from the seed, everything is inside. Within that little seed, everything is inside for it to blossom as its best fruit. The only thing it has to be done, what's the thing it has to be done? It has to be planted. You got to be planted. You got to be planted. And for us, we are the seed. And the soil is gratitude. The soil is reverence for God, understanding of God. The soil is your surrender. The soil is your surrender. You plant yourself when you surrender. My God, you plant yourself in that surrender. You're planting yourself in something so sweet, so abundant that you can't even really think of the glory. You can't even imagine the glory. Whatever it is that you can imagine is sweeter and greater than that. Isn't that amazing? And whatever it is that you can imagine, you will be satisfied with that because you're imagining it and you're excited about what you're imagining. But if you even surrender the vision, come on, somebody, I'm talking to somebody. If you even surrender the vision, surrender the dream, surrender the desires, surrender the yearning, surrender that. You know what? I give thanks for the vision. I give thanks for the dream. I give thanks for these things that I aspire, inspire. And in this moment, I surrender it. I give thanks for getting a glimpse of my prophecy. I said, what do we look at our visions and dreams as prophecy? I give thanks for getting a glimpse of it. Give thanks. I surrender it. And now I'm going to just stay in the now. Because what happens, you don't stay in the now. Own the now. Don't go and look in the future. If you're yearning, wanting, vision, that's the future. We're only given that to give us a little insight, just a little sight on just even the remnants of what is already. Problem is we hold on to that, and now guess what we try to do? We try to take the wheel. Oh, I got a vision, I got a dream, I got a want. Now what I need to do? I need to figure this thing out. I'm gonna figure it out. Let me call somebody. Let me Google something. Let me sign up for this, sign up for that. Give some money over here. Do that, do that, do this, do that, do that. We don't sit with it and go, all right, God, give thanks. I surrender. I affirm that I will be shown the way. And in this surrender, I'll obey. And then you just wait for the hunches, what Florence Scovian called the hunches, the divine hunches. The divine inspirations. They don't have to be big, and they just call this person. Go over there. Go to that Kroger instead of that Kroger. Come on, somebody. I'm talking about simple living, but grand living. But you got to listen. You got to be aware. You got to be in tune. Go over there. That's the grace. Man, and I was about to go all the way over there, and I went over here. And in there, I met this person. Yada, yada, da, 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 da. Man, I almost didn't say yes to that thing, but I just went ahead and said, and I just went ahead and did it because, some told me I need to do it. And man, look what happened. I just called that person and did it. That's the grace. But you know where the grace came? Because you're in your surrender. You planted yourself in surrender. But you did it because first you became grateful. You start to realize, you begin to revere, you begin to honor the reality of God and the reality of life. And within that is the reality that there's a divine plan happening all the time with everything that has life. There's a divine plan because of the reality of God in everything that has life. So I would love for you to receive the message today. Listen, I heard from someone earlier, like yesterday or this morning, possibly, that, we earn our grace through gratitude. And that hit me. I was like, that's nice. And it's real. It's so real. We earn our grace through gratitude. And that grace starts to show up as divine inspiration. Hunches, divine hunches. It shows up. Breakthroughs, miracles, things we call miracles, insights, comforting of the heart, peace that surpasses all understanding, things working out, things not working out, but we at peace. You feel me? That's the grace. But you got to get there through the gratitude, the honoring of life. You can't honor life or the creator, in which we call God, if you don't know it. And you can't get to know the beloved unless you stop being so caught up in yourself. You quiet your life a little bit, a lot of bit. You pay more attention. You follow the guidance to go to the spiritual teachers or the religious, whatever, whoever you're led to, you obey. You make sure you do that. You move forward in doing it. You don't ignore it. When spirit tell you need to go to church, or you need to go to the masjid, or you need to go, whatever what spirit tell you, do it. That is honoring life. Honoring the creator, this thing we call God, honoring it. That is gratitude. Gratitude don't hardly have anything to do with what's going on in your life. Gratitude is honoring life in general. Honoring and being grateful for how the heart works, for how the liver be filtrating stuff out your body, how the kidneys work, how the gallbladder work. Honoring the fact that the sun come up every single one thing that is fixed, it's the sun. Come on now. Honoring the fact that you can spit a seed out and it'll grow a whole vine of more fruit that give you more seed. Honoring that. Honoring that. And then living it intentionally. Put in the chat room if you agree. I affirm that I live intentionally in gratitude. I affirm, make firm. Affirm means to make firm. I affirm that I live intentionally in gratitude. I affirm that I live intentionally in gratitude. There we go. That's the mantra for this week. I affirm that I live intentionally in gratitude. I affirm that I live intentionally in gratitude. Let us go into a meditation with that affirmation, okay? I want you to repeat it over and over again. I affirm that I live intentionally in gratitude. You can take the I affirm off. I live intentionally in gratitude. I live intentionally in gratitude. Say it with me. I live intentionally in gratitude. Take deep breaths and take deep inhales and exhales. In between, I live intentionally in gratitude. I live intentionally in gratitude. I live intentionally in gratitude. I'm going to move into a meditation while we're on this vibration. Let's pause. Take a deep breath in through your nose. Exhale through your mouth. I live intentionally in gratitude. Let's go into the mantra. I live intentionally in gratitude. Every now and then, take a deep breath in and exhale. I live intentionally in gratitude. 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 Take a moment, just be still and say that mantra. Feel it within yourself. See all the words. I live intentionally. All the words have meanings, have vibration. In gratitude. I live. I live. I live intentionally. I live intentionally in gratitude. I live. What a beautiful thing just to even live. I live intentionally. What a beautiful thing to live just intentionally, but add on to it. I live intentionally in gratitude. I live intentionally in gratitude. You see how the affirmation means something way deeper than you just saying something? Words. In the beginning was the word, and the word was with God, and the word was God. Me, I. The I, not this physical person. The I within me, the God within me, the kingdom within lives. I live. What does living mean? I live and breathe and grow and stretch. I live intentionally. I live and grow and stretch and move and create intentionally in gratitude. I'm not even in this. This physical person, I'm not in it. The I, it lives. It's a living energy. The I lives intentionally in gratitude. I live intentionally in gratitude. Inhale the I live. I live intentionally in gratitude. Exhale the intentionally in gratitude. Breathe in meditation. Breathe in mantras. I live. Take a deep breath. I live. Exhale intentionally in gratitude. Exhale intentionally in gratitude. I live. Inhale the I live. Exhale the intentionally in gratitude. I live. Take a deep breath. Intentionally in gratitude. Ashe. Take one last deep breath in through the nose. Hold that breath as long as you can. And when you exhale, I want you to affirm one more time. I live intentionally in gratitude. And I say to you as we close out, that as you live intentionally in gratitude, you live intentionally in grace. Okay? I wish I could say, oh, I never learned how to say it. You live intentionally in grace. What a life to live. When somebody asks me how you doing, I'll be like, just right. I'm doing just right. I'm feeling good and grateful. Why? Because I live intentionally in gratitude, therefore I live intentionally in grace. God's grace is sufficient. Come on, somebody. Am I right or am I right? God's grace is sufficient. And so if you're Christian tuned in, if you're Muslim tuned in, if you're Ifa tuned in, if you're Hindu tuned in, if you're Buddhist tuned in, whatever it is that you deem to be or call by name, God, right? I live intentionally in gratitude of it. And its grace is sufficient for everything and anything you may consider to be a need or a want. It's sufficient. Let the seed teach you, baby. I'm telling you now. What did I say the soil is? Our soil is our surrender. Surrender to it. Okay, surrender to that gratitude and grace. Ashe. Stephanie says, what a word, what a word. Give thanks for the word. It just, we give thanks for the channeling of the word because I didn't really have anything on my mind. I just know I did have a conversation where that was said and it hit me like, oh, we earn our grace through our gratitude. And I'm like, that's so real. And at the beginning, when I was talking about the book, Living It, a Different Kind of Living, the ebook, I was saying it because in there, I put all of these things that help me to be able to live intentionally. Understanding the moon cycle, understand herbs and gemstones, understanding the planets, understanding astrology, all those different things. I don't know if I went into astrology in that book because at that time I wasn't really into it like that. But I definitely went into like the moon phases, the colors of the day. Oh, that's what we were talking about. Understanding the energy of the day. You know what I'm saying? Planning your days around or tuning your day into the energy of the day. It's nice, like, you know, when you do that. And that was at that time, it was more just the moon. I was more so into the phases of the moon, the colors of the day. I would wear faithfully. I would wear the color of the day. You know, like if it's moon day, I'm wearing white. I'm wearing cream, you know, moon day. If it's Tuesday, I'm wearing red. If it's Wednesday, I'm wearing green. If it's Thursday, I'm wearing yellow. If it's Friday, I'll be between a white and a light blue. If it's Saturday, I'm wearing black. And if it's Sunday, I'm in between white and yellow. You know? Candles, yeah, I think I went over the candles. Thank you. Yes. Shout out to Amina. Yeah. Candles. Understand I'm gonna tune into the color of the candles, and I always have a candle burning. These days it's more whites candles just because of the energy of the time right now. But candle work, like all of those different things, you know, maybe they could come off like, oh, these are ways to manifest. And no, just tune it in, get over it. We are manifestors. Like, what are we talking about here? How to manifest, breathe. If you're living and breathing, you're manifesting. That's it. Okay, come on. Like, what? Like, come on. Like, stop it. Stop it. A Different Kind of Living is the name of the book, sis. It's on my Etsy page. You can go to ouministries.com and go to the shop and you can get it. And this fall, I'm gonna do a class where we're gonna go through the whole book. As long as you have the book or purchase the book, you can tune into that class. But anyway, that was more, you know, that was more when even I was in that consciousness of, you know, wow, you know, I'm able to manifest. I'm a master manifester. Of course you are. You have breath in your body. We are all master manifestors. It's about tuning into, it's really more about purifying the heart, purifying the soul. And so where now you're manifesting that which is pure and which is right or righteous, which means right for your divine path and plan and purpose. So purifying the soul, you know, cleaning out all of that, those belief systems, attitudes, perceptions, projections, memories, all of those different things that are negating in nature, by nature. Cleaning that up, that's the soul. The soul holds all of those perceptions, attitudes, beliefs, memories, all of that, that becomes your soul, you know, and your life begins to manifest out of that. Clean that up. Then lighten the heart, or at the same time, there's no steps to it, you know, lighten the heart, open up, empty out, you know. That's the process of tuning into divine manifestation instead of manifestation of the ego, which is mostly, I won't say mostly, a lot of times that's what it is. You're manifesting things of ego all the time. If you're always walking around with negative thoughts, your life, you're going to manifest negativity in your life. If you're always walking around with that story that you tell that is steeped into your trauma, you're going to continue to manifest things that are traumatic in your life. If you're constantly walking around feeling, thinking and perceiving in lack, you're going to manifest, you okay? So we're always manifest, naturally, you're going to do it. So it's not like you got to figure out how to manifest. And I'm mentioning that because this book could be perceived as like this book where you can manifest. No, it's not. Living intentionally is tuning into the divine nature of your life. When you tune into these different frequencies, you raise your vibration. And in your highest formation, your vibration is high, right? In your highest, in your most pure natural state, you have a high vibration. And we want to stay there. I want to stay at my purest state so that I can manifest and I can create and I can live and reflect from my highest state. Who doesn't want that? Live a little bit more intentionally. Now, different type of living, go through some things, but it's also really understanding God, you know? I'm grateful for our Tuesday class because we can really talk about a wide range of things, you know, when it comes to understanding our divinity, understanding God. And I'm using these words, and these words might sound new age. It's not new age. It's so unfortunate that here in the West, we are so severely undereducated and ignorant that we hear these things that are sacred words that are being used. You know, God has been used for years, but it's not the original language of the higher power. That's not the original name. Like, so it's like we get outside of God. If any of my language is making you feel uncomfortable, I want to challenge you to relax that. Because in that, you know, that trap of, you know, well, you start saying divine and the creator, and, you know, I've just thought about that because I acknowledge that we're still quite indoctrinated in certain ways. And I have this person who they tune into me, but they'll oftentimes say, you know, I call God by name, and it's like, I know what's in that, and I know why you're saying that. And I challenge you to get past that, because that could be a limitation. That's why I like to call it, we are divine beings. There's something different that you come to understand when you understand what I mean by that. You are divine beings. Divinity is your birthright. You are a child of the Creator. You are a result. Let me take child out of there, because that creates personhood. You are the result of the reality of God. You are a living, breathing reflection of the reality of God. Okay? Take the personhood out, take the separation, take this fantastical thought of a man or anything like that, and the reality of God, which I've been talking about this whole time, right? You are the reflection of that, the result of that. You got to learn what that is. Get to know what that is. All right. I'm done. Give thanks for tuning in. If this was a strong word for you, and you feel like it could be a good word for somebody else, when it's posted on my YouTube channel, share the link. Also, let them know that they can tune in live. Also, if you'd like to share love to OU Ministries and the work that's being done here, from this Sunday message to our beautiful garden, our beautiful marketplace, or all the things that we are doing, if you just want to show your love and support, even if you don't indulge, if you just want to say, I really appreciate this ministry and what it offers, you may do so at the same link that you tuned in. There's a few ways that you can give to support OU Ministries. There are other ways that you can support. You can come to our events. You can shop in our marketplace. You can become a member of OU Ministries. Tune into the study classes we're currently having. You're welcome, Katie. We're currently having a chakras class. How many of you all were tuned into the chakra class, the Fortifying the Chakras class on Tuesday? Oh, nice dynamic. Right now, currently, you can join for as little as $10 a month, and you can be given access to this dynamic course that I have put together, and we're going through on every Tuesday until we're done. So if you haven't yet, you can join at ouministries.com. Go to the memberships tab. Just look for what we offer. Go to all memberships, or go to study groups. Go to study groups. And if you join at least the Learn group, you can get access to this chakras class. But a lot of you all chose to join, which I tip my hat off. You joined the Align group or the Thrive group, and you got access to a lot of other rich information too. So we give thanks that you saw the value in that and you joined in those other groups, which you can join for as little as $10. Or you can explore the other groups. But as long as you're a paying member of OU Ministries, you get access to this Fortifying the Chakras class. You're welcome, Vika. So you can become a member to support. You can also support by donating to the garden, volunteering at the garden. You can support by tuning into the meditations every new moon and full moon, $11.11. And you get an amazing new moon and full moon message and meditation, those twice a month. Will you tune into that? I think that's all the ways you can support. And of course, keep your sister in your prayers. Keep OU in your prayers. Oh, also spread the word. Let people know about OU Ministries. I know a lot of you are not in Atlanta. Let people know they can tune in on Sundays, every Sunday, to support us with that. Spreading the word is also wonderful support. Trust and believe that. It's wonderful support. Of course, we give thanks for your financial support, but still, just in the way you speak of us, pray of us, like, it's a great support and appreciate it as well. All right, we give thanks. We give thanks for this word today. We give thanks for the mantra and meditation that I live intentionally in gratitude. We give thanks for that mantra. May we take it with us, and may we commit to living, number one, living intentionally, and living intentionally steeped in gratitude. We give thanks for the word today. Ashe. Amen. 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 Give thanks. Give thanks.